Hi, it's Tracy Stewart, and the title of my dissertation is In the Eye of the Beholder, Student Perceptions of Campus Police. Police officers are the most highly visible members of the executive branch of government within the community. Officers are tasked with a variety of responsibilities as they serve different agencies in various law enforcement-related roles. Whether federal, state, county, local, or campus police, their responsibilities and duties vary, and as such, public perceptions and opinions about who they are and what they do will vary. A common view, however, is that police are essential to safety and the welfare of the public. The organizational setting and context for this dissertation is a college campus where there are fully trained and certified campus police officers. Their primary duty is to protect members of the campus community by keeping the peace, maintaining order, and preserving life. They're also tasked with a multitude of simpler services as they're located on the college campus and can provide those services. This study will explore how college students perceive campus police. The problem of practice is that it's unclear how college students perceive the roles, goals, and scope of authority that campus police possess. This lack of understanding has the potential to hinder the mutuality of this symbiotic relationship. It's through this cooperative interdependence that the police can effectively protect and serve the public, and the public may achieve and maintain a good quality of life. Without it, productive police-community relationships will cease to exist, effective problem-solving will be met with perpetual challenges, and the question of trust and police legitimacy will continue to linger. As it is, campus police make assumptions about student needs and approach policing in that way. Lack of true knowledge as to the needs and clarity of roles leads to ambiguity, lack of trust, and ineffective services. Coupled with distrust in the police, lack of connection and clear communication leads to campus safety and security issues, so obtaining information will help reduce the relationship deficit and eventually lead to more effective, efficient systems and a safer campus. The purpose is to gain insight into what college students think, why these perceptions exist, and what factors aided in the shaping of these views. It's important because a clear understanding of students' perceptions will facilitate the development of an understanding about barriers that may hinder the ability of campus police to effectively do their jobs and build relationships. This is how they'll keep the students safe. This awareness is essential to effective policing and overall campus safety. So it'll lay the groundwork for evaluating approaches that police use to engage the community. For this study, the specific organizational context and setting is a mid-sized institution located in a suburban rural setting. There are approximately 10,000 students, and the makeup is not particularly diverse. As you can see here, demographically it's primarily Caucasian. The theoretical framework for this study was evolved from existing research on views about trust, acceptance, and authority. Police in any community embody authority. The way in which individuals view and react to authority and their rules tends to be based on the level of trust, respect, and belief in that authority. In this research study, the primary purpose was to explain the relevance of these theories and how trust, acceptance, and views on authority are connected to the focus of this study. As you can see here, the theory of authority, conflict theory, and Maslow's hierarchy of needs are referenced within the Lit Review as being directly related to various components of the research. However, the main theoretical foundation of this research study was social learning theory. Social learning theory suggests that individuals acquire information through first-person experiences, vicarious experiences, and observation. According to Bandura in 1962, through this process of learning, diverse opinions, attitudes, and feelings are formed. The research is clear that individuals acquire knowledge and perceive people, situations, and things in different ways. Taking these varied lenses into account, individual attitudes towards police will vary. You can see Maslow's hierarchy of needs is referenced in the Lit Review as we discuss generational differences, especially with regard to college levels. Conflict theory came into play with different cultures and race groups. Theory of authority was referenced in regards to police legitimacy, whether it be because of customs, charismatic attitudes, or simply by way of their government status. So a little breakdown into the components and concepts in the Lit Review. It begins with an overview of the history of policing in America. In order to understand policing, it's important to gain insight into its history and its development and how it transitioned over time. Efficacy and effectiveness, which gears more towards traditional policing. Differentiation into campus policing. Perceptions of authority. Generational perspectives. Cultural or racial perspectives. Trust, and then college student perceptions, as has been noted in the past. Research questions 1 and 2, and number 2 has subsections. So what impressions of police did college students hold prior to entering college? What's the current state of relationships between campus police and students enrolled at a large public university? What are college students' perceptions of campus police as a resource? Do they feel protected by campus police? Do they feel there's transparency? And do college students categorize their interactions with police as generally cordial or more authority-based? A couple of the assumptions that are mentioned is it's assumed that the student participants will select honest responses when answering the study survey questions because of the anonymity involved and the proxy that I'm using making the request. It's also assumed that the entity I'm using to get the contact information for the students involved in this quantitative study, that the listing's up to date and is accurate. Limitations here is good old COVID-19. This pandemic, which is unprecedented, may have some type of impact, or it's essentially going to be challenging to implement my quantitative survey with the COVID restrictions governmentally and institutionally. Also, the opportunity for some of these college students to participate in this survey may be limited due to their multitude of responsibilities and the emotional and physical challenges that they're facing with the pandemic as well. Also, the current social and political climate is rather turbulent, so repeated revelations of police misconduct have led to monumental incidents of civil unrest. The question is, will that pose some type of bias with the survey responses? Delimitations noted, the study findings may not reflect those of an institution located in a more urban setting, serving a more diverse demographic. So the participants in this particular study are the college students enrolled at this fictitious institution, and the setting is specific, as I mentioned earlier, so it may not reflect a more urban setting. Regardless, there will be contributions to the literature. Addressing this information deficit will facilitate open lines of communication, trust, and transparency between students in this cross-sectional study and campus police that will help lay the groundwork for closing the gap between campus community needs and campus police actions. It's difficult to serve people when you don't know what they want or what they need or what their expectations are or what their understanding is. It'll also contribute to determining how these college students viewed police prior to college, since entering college, and some of the contributing factors as to those perceptions based on age, gender, race, and college educational level, as will be seen through the ANOVA analysis that's used in Chapter 3. Thank you. Thank you very much.